Our mission is to make data validation or model checking accessible for everybody in the industry. We have seen so many file formats, so many different platforms. And we think by becoming a Grammarly, sort of a spell checker for your BIM files, integrated with any CDE or any other tool out there, making it accessible for everybody who wants to be involved in checking in the information which is part of your workflow.
Hello friends, welcome back to BIMvoice. Today I have the pleasure to talk to Frank Schuyer, who is the CEO at Synapse, and Shirin Arnold, who is a principal industry lead for construction at Dropbox. And we are going to talk about how we can check models and collaborate using Dropbox and Verifi3D. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me.
Hello Petru, thank you very much, and thank you for having us today.
Yeah, hello, thank you.
Yeah, let's do a presentation round. Let's start with the lady. Shirin, please go ahead. And after that, let's see how we can use these platforms.
Perfect. All right. So just a brief introduction. Yeah, Shirin Arnold, Principal Industry Lead at Dropbox. I've been in the industry my entire career, structural engineer by training. And I'm excited to be at Dropbox to see how we can provide a more enlightened way to the AEC industry, the way in which we work and collaborate. So excited to share more today around the integration that we have and how we can enable powerful workflows with Verifi3D.
That sounds good. Frank?
Yeah, thank you very much again. My name is Frank Schuyer. I am the founder and CEO of Synapse. We are a Dutch-based construction tech startup. And our mission is to make data validation or model checking accessible for everybody in the industry. We have seen so many file formats, so many different platforms. And we think by becoming a Grammarly, sort of a spell checker for your BIM files, integrated with any CDE or any other tool out there, making it accessible for everybody who wants to be involved in checking in the information which is part of your workflow.
Okay, so we are talking about the metadata in the models. We are not talking about physical clash control, right?
No, not about physical, but indeed metadata. And we use the geometry and the parametric information from construction files in general.
Okay, but can you then check, I said physical and this might be misleading. Can you also check the geometry? Like, can you check two different disciplines and see if you have any clashes?
This is the main part of our application indeed, yeah.
Okay, don't be too surprised if I will ask very simple questions because I did not see how these products are working together. I'm using Dropbox, of course, to share files, but never use it to check or visualize models. So this is very, very interesting. So I will allow you to explain to us how does this process works? Where do you start and how do you do it?
Maybe this is a question to start with for Shirin to answer that, because I think that's something where the whole workflow starts, and I can take it from there.
Absolutely. So I think, if I may, very briefly, so you mentioned also that you use Dropbox. Many people know us. Dropbox was founded in 2007. It has drastically evolved over the years. So we are more than just file sync and share, and that's what makes us that much more valuable as a common data environment to like a Verifi3D. We have e-signature capabilities. We have virtual data rooms as well. So a very highly secure ways in which to share content externally, but also gather insights. We have Dropbox capture and replay. So ways in which to screen record and, take screenshots or screen record with imagery, as well as replay does commenting and almost like a sort of a collaborative session over video footage. So there are many reasons with our 200 plus preview capabilities of various file types that brings Dropbox as an extremely powerful common data environment. And what we've noticed as well is beyond AutoCAD files, we have Revit files, we have IFC files. So we have many architects, engineers, and contractors storing these types of files. So we would like to empower them to do more with the content that they have. And that's why I believe it's a beautiful marriage between ourselves and Verifi3D, because now we can really enable them to tap in and to run clash between those models and take it that one step further to initiate workflows. And Frank, if you want to, us being that bottom common data environment layer sort of take us to the next step, which is kicking off those workflows within Verifi3D?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect explanation of where the workflow starts indeed. Where that stops is where we start. So our aim is to add literally intelligence to the common data environments, to all these file storage environments or file repositories, how you would like to call them. They all need a way of a form of intelligence where you can do more with data. And I think, like Shireen said perfectly, that's where we tap in. At the moment, you have the data available, you can view it in your browser, you can access it easily, and you can collaborate, because that's something you didn't mention, but this is an important part of the Dropbox solution, which is mainly a main differentiator compared to local SharePoints or local other hard drive solutions. And where you would like to check it against local legislations, or you would like to make an easy class detection, or you would like to do some quantity takeoffs. This is what our solution offers, these common data environment and platforms, where we the added value for the end user. And end users generate more and more information. The file sizes become bigger and larger. And also Dropbox there is a perfect platform to facilitate larger files, share it, but also now they have the opportunity to view it and to analyze it. And that's where we start.
Mm-hmm. Is this a standalone application, or is this something that you can run in the browser on top of Dropbox, or how does this work?
No, this is another powerful thing, because this is pretty new in the industry. We have the vision that desktop is behind us. We are looking forward, and we think cloud is the next step. And cloud solutions like Verifi is the new standard. And because of its cloud nature, it's so easy to integrate with Dropbox. And Dropbox had the vision to build not only a file repository, but also build an ecosystem around their file repository. And by enabling their APIs, by enabling their platform with APIs, it was for us so easy to tie in to that with that API, to tie into their platform and make real life syncing immediately available for our customers. And that's the power of both cloud solutions, that you will never work with all data anymore. You are always up to date. You always have access to the latest information.
Okay, that's interesting. Are there any limitations regarding the browsers that people can use to use this platform?
Yeah, there are. We solved many of those. And limitations were, for example, accessibility. We solved that with single sign-on. The other limitation is the amount of data you can handle. We also solved that by converting IFC and Revit files into a Verifi3D proprietary file format, so you can run it in your browser easily, and you can still navigate through your building, and you can run it and you can browse around it like you do as a desktop application. So you have the same experience. But of course, simple things like internet access is one of the limitations.
Yeah, we still have that one, right? When we go to the cloud.
Yeah, I was thinking though about specific browsers, like this working only on Chrome, or does this work in Edge or Safari or Firefox?
I can't speak for Dropbox, but Shireen can perfectly answer as well. But for us, Safari is one of the challenging browsers. But Chrome, Firefox, Bing, they all work. And some browsers have a little less capacity than the other. Chrome is by far the one with the largest capabilities, according to supporting a larger amount of data. But there you have some limitations, and sometimes you have to be a little bit more patient. But it's just a matter of seconds, and not even minutes or longer.
Yeah, and I'd say there are no limitations on our side from a Dropbox perspective.
Yeah, but Dropbox has also a standalone application, right, that you can install?
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
So it's not possible to run Verifi3D within the Dropbox application, right?
So what you do is you would have, Dropbox would be your, common data environment. You would store your documentation or your models there. And then what you can do is kick off from Verifi3D, you can initiate, and then there's a path that you can select this file that's in Dropbox, or from Dropbox, you can also initiate that workflow. So you're not moving. I think the most important piece is you're not moving the content. You're working all off the same version, enhancing that collaboration, and you always get the latest version as well. As we know, we're all virtual, right? I'm sitting in California today. We're all moving constantly on the go. So we need to ensure that we all have access to that latest content and information.
Yeah. And I guess revision control is not an issue, right? If you want to roll back to a previous version, you can do that easily, right?
Correct.
As long as you have that information on your Dropbox environment, for us, it doesn't matter if it's online or the offline tool, because we also real life sync with the offline version. As long as you have access to internet and you are connected, then you can also update your files locally and still sync it with our environment.
And that's one of our in the AEC industry, one of the favorite capabilities that Dropbox has is the rewind function. That one can really go back to a specific date and time and almost go back to, not go to the future, but go back in the past, which is a great capability because shockingly, people do by accident delete things, which happens more than one would expect.
Yeah, I really cannot imagine like today you working with platforms that don't support revision control. This is hugely important. Yes, indeed.
I was going to say it's definitely one of the big, I think revision control and the other piece as well as the audit capabilities, right? The traceability and transparency into who's done what. So it's almost that fingerprint as content moves from A to B to C and the different phases. So being able to have that fingerprint on, I know that Frank was the last one who touched it and didn't update versus Shireen, I think that's also very crucial to have that visibility into the changes from a change management perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm wondering about something. This question is for both of you. Like you definitely are aware about other CDEs, right? What are the main, would you say would be the main advantages of using this combo instead of classic other common data environment solution?
Sure, I'll start here, Frank, and then I'd love to hear. Frank's already done a lot of plus ones for us here, but yeah, these days it's almost a commodity to have a document repository or content repository. Where I would say Dropbox stands out is ease of use is one of the biggest. We hear from our customers that it just works, right? It has to be simple, easy to use. I would say most specifically in the AEC industry from a change management perspective. Another would be the capabilities that we have, collaboration, another one that Frank touched upon. We have a lot of customers that lean, even though they're potentially in some cases using other CDE solutions, they will come to us simply for that external or sharing or internal sharing because we have reduced barriers. You don't need to sign in with Dropbox Transfer to be able to share large files, which we also have greater limitations or extents in the size of the files that you can share, as well as using file requests to be able to receive content from like a subcontractor without them having to log in. So it's reducing those barriers of entry, which a lot of the other solutions have. I would say as well, on top of that is the co-editing capabilities. So, with PDF editor, you don't have to leave Dropbox to do PDF editing. We have lightweight Microsoft editing for Microsoft files as well. And then the visual content. So, in the construction industry, a lot of the content that we're seeing is of the type photo and video. And we have a lot of capabilities to enhance. And again, like we're doing with the 3D models, with Verifi3D, we have ways in which to enhance that visual content, to take it that one step further, to collaborate on, to edit. And then, of course, e-signature, it's about extending workflows. It's not one solution. I don't think it ever will be. It's about that connected ecosystem. And Verifi3D to us provides an extensive amount of value to our customers that are using, have 3D models within Dropbox, and are now able to go one step beyond without having to move content.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to take it a little bit higher from more an helicopter view. And I also would like to express the power of Dropbox, but also where we come in place. Because what you see, and interoperability and collaboration is a big topic in our industry, as you might know. And with all these cloud solutions, this is accelerating very, very rapidly. And if you would look at it from an helicopter perspective, you see so much diversity in the industry, which is good, but is also sometimes, let me call it annoying. And what the powers of Dropbox there is that you can use Dropbox as a sort of a backup drive as well. And you see Some people have Dropbox as their standard for their internal file repository, but sometimes they are pushed to use other CDEs out there because the building owner or the architect or someone else is using another platform and they want to have their data on their own CDEs as well. So Dropbox is there the ideal solution to sync it to your own environment. And with Verifi3D, it doesn't matter if you use Autodesk or if you use Procore or you use other Trimble solutions, whatever, that you can still integrate and you can connect and you can do typical what type of work you need to do to make sure your data is proper before you start building. And I think there is also an interesting combination for both of us. We don't have to be per se the leading platform out there. You can always use it in combination with. Yeah, sometimes the downside of other solutions because they are, it's strict to their environment and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a valid point. Shirin, I'm wondering about some features regarding Dropbox. But one important thing for people who don't know, like I guess most of us are using Dropbox to some degree. Personally, I don't have a paid plan. I'm using the free version for some stuff. I'm using Google Drive. I'm using also OneDrive. But Dropbox is the only company that started only with sharing or storage solution. What do you think is still the edge of Dropbox over the other tools that many companies, like almost everyone, at least in Norway, has a Microsoft account, right? And by extension, they have also SharePoint, right? How does Dropbox still find a place in this?
So I think it's a very great question. And I would say an easy response for us, because it really is about enabling collaboration. So it's really about enabling that enlightened way of working. It's a different way of working. We have many individuals that come to us. I mean, we are, as Frank said, it's a with, right? So, of course we have, our customers have Microsoft, they have Autodesk, they have Procore, they have all these other solutions as well. It's about what one can do and the enablement of that collaboration. We know within our industry, there are many, many stakeholders on any given project. You need to easily be able to quickly share content and collaborate on content. And with the other solutions, there are barriers that make it difficult, maybe 5 clicks more in order to share something, get a piece of content from A to B. There's also limitations on sizing of that content that can be shared from A to B. So that's one of our biggest, I would say, differentiators and why people lean on us. Also, all of the solutions that you mentioned from a mobile perspective, we have hands down a much nicer mobile experience and access from the mobile perspective, a scan to PDF, ways in which to quickly digitize content. I would say one other is the automations. There's a lot of automation that can occur within Dropbox. One of our favorite in the industry is converting DWG to PDF. You can put a DWG file or receive a file in a folder and it automatically converts it or automatically unzips or automatically renames it to normalize the content from a nomenclature perspective. I know I've seen the word August written in many, many different ways. So it's a great way to have clean, nice content that's easily searchable, right? So the OCR capabilities with eDiscovery makes you have that content at your fingertips. And just very briefly, one other piece, as we're continuing with that enlightened way of working and finding ways in which to collaborate more efficiently, Dropbox captures a solution that, again, allows you, how often are you taking a quick screenshot to add context to an email or a conversation? Or I'm collaborating with a team member in Australia or Japan or somewhere around the world, and I want to provide a contextual narrative to them to say, okay, I'm ending my day here, Sarah, this is your content, a way in which I can screen record, make it personable. So this is something that Dropbox has that's within Dropbox. So there's no downloading, uploading of files. It's really all virtual, all URL, and just quickly share it, throw it into a Slack channel, Teams, whatever. So it's a different way of working that makes us attractive.
I must confess that I am not aware at all about this collaboration, like working within Dropbox. I did not try it to that degree. Like, can you do this also with the free plan, or do you need a paid plan to have enhanced functionalities?
So there are some capabilities from like the automations and particular, when you're doing Dropbox transfer, or request setting passwords and expiration dates. So there are levels that go more towards the paid plans, but there is a lot that you can do just also with the free version. But I would check it out. Replay, as an example, is something that you can try and have access to. But this is something that we find is people are unaware of. You think Dropbox, you think file sync and share and storing content or backup, but there's so much more to it. And that's where we're excited to really talk about integrations and work with, Frank and Verifi3D, because it really extends the value and provides that +1 as to why Dropbox.
I did not see a lot of this on from a marketing standpoint, so maybe
there was a lot of marketing around it, I can tell you that.
I did not see so much, to be honest. So that's why I'm pretty new to this. And I'm talking about Dropbox functionalities that I was not aware about.
I just did a LinkedIn post on Replay, so check out for drone footage.
Okay. No, but that's very good to know.
We'll make sure to shout louder.
Yeah. You mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, I hope I recall correctly, support for IFC files and Revit files and DWG files, right? Does that mean that we can visualize within the platform? Can we open these models and see them and move around and so on?
So yes to DWG files. So we do have a relationship with Autodesk and we do have preview capabilities. We do not have for the 3D. So for IFC or Revit files. And this is why also we lean heavily on our partnership with Verifi3D to take, those customers that have that content stored within Dropbox can now not only view them, but do that much more with Verifi3D. So that's where a partnership with Verifi3D becomes that much more important to us.
Yes. So then if you have Verifi3D license, then Verifi3D works also as a viewer. Okay, I did not get this from the beginning. I thought it's just like a tool that is checking the file itself and making a report for you. But then it's like a 3D visualizer, like you see in Solibri or other tools, right?
Yeah, that's how you have to see it. And that's where you can compare it with Indeed. And normally, Indeed, the 3D viewer comes first. And in our case also, because you would like to see, do I have the right model? Do I have all the files, structural, MEP, architectural, etc. And if you have these files in place, then you start doing your data validation checks, your rules and your filters. And then you see the outcome and you can visualize the outcome again, but you can also export to an issue or you can export to an Excel or PDF document. And then you can push it around in your ecosystem to fix these things you found.
Okay. You mentioned rules. Is there a database of rules, a rule set existing, or everyone needs to start from the scratch?
Both. We have a few predefined templates in the application available, and we are extending rapidly. In the next coming weeks, we will release two more. But you can also create some yourself. We offer that flexibility from the beginning. We can help customers setting it up, but if customers are sophisticated enough and have enough knowledge on setting up rules, like you can do with other tools as well, then they can do it easily in our application too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's quite important to have a quick jumpstart if it's possible. I believe that this is one of the reasons Solibri dominated a lot from this point of view when it comes to clash control.
Yeah, and we are challenging that dominance.
Very good. It's always good to have alternatives. What about licensing? How does licensing work? I assume you need to have a pro license or a paid license for Dropbox in the first point as a first condition, and then on top of that, you need the Verifi3D license, or how does this work?
The good thing about the whole integration is that you can also use the Dropbox with the free plan in combination with Verifi. So that's a great flexibility of Dropbox. In case of Verified, we issue trial licenses for 14 days. And after that, if you like the application, you can do a paid plan. And then still you can choose to use the paid version, the paid plan for a Dropbox, or you can still keep on using the free version. And we have different plans. We have corporate agreements. We have monthly seat price, and we sell it based on floating licenses. So you can use it in your team with multiple people at the same time for just one license. But we also are subscription based, because that was one of your questions. We offer it in a subscription manner. So
you can have just one license. That could be a starting point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand. Okay, that's good because people can test it out and see if they want to scale it. And it's good also that it's floating because more people can use it.
And in addition to that, we are also a Dropbox partner. So customers can buy a combination of a Dropbox paid plan in combination with a verified license. So we can make tailored proposals for them if they want.
Okay, that sounds good. We talked about collaboration, communication, and so on. Is there any support for BCF, or do you plan to support it?
We already support it. So we have multiple issue trackers already integrated, like BIM Collab, like BIM Track, but also BIM360, ACC, Procore issues. So you can push your issues to these solutions as well. But also, in addition, we offer a BCF download. So you can download multiple issues at the same time, or you can do individual issues to the BCF file and store that on the Dropbox environment and let someone else pick it up there and import it directly in Revit or in Archicad or other solutions where you can fix the issue as addressed.
Okay, that's cool. It's very nice that you have integrations, live integrations with the BCF servers like BIM Collab or other ones.
Yeah, very important part of the workflow.
Yes, I completely agree. Yes, do you think is there anything else important that I did not ask you about that you would like to convey?
I think you already asked quite some good questions. Shireen, looking at you, do you have any?
I think we've, and from my perspective, I've mentioned all the various capabilities that many are unaware of that Dropbox provides. I think it really is around partnership and extending the ecosystem. It's really about providing more value. The customer's number one, our end users, our customers are number one to us. So the more value that we can provide, by extending partnerships, I think the better. So
yeah, I have maybe one specific thing, Petru, to add to this, and I think that's a significant part of the workflow, and it's also one of the added values we add to the Dropbox environment, which is model coordination. Because model coordination becomes more and more important in this industry. We see more and more files, Revit, IFCs, etc., are using mixed or just standardized on one file format. That's not so important. But with verified, Dropbox users are also able to do the model coordination process within the same environment. So if you have your Dropbox environment with a bunch of files, tons of files, and you would like to only pick out the ones you need for that specific project, you can create your own project folder, and there you can create your own model set based on the specific files you would like to use for clash detection or all the other checks we already addressed. And I think this is an important part of Dropbox users, because you get drowned quickly in all these large amount of files, and you have no clue which version was the latest one, etc. And that whole process we can cover partly as well.
Okay, that sounds good. That's important as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can people reach out to you if they would like to ask you any questions that I did not cover?
Yeah, I think for both of us, it's the website. It's very easy to reach out and to leave your name and number on the site, and we will reach out. And I think the Salesforce, the Dropbox team has a Salesforce as well, who pick up leads accordingly. Yeah, and the same counts, at least for us. Dropbox has automated that more in a better way than we have, but trial accounts, etc., that's no problem. But we do that manually at the moment.
Yeah, and also more happy, if you have just any specific questions or want to talk about the industry, also more happy, you can reach out on LinkedIn as well.
Yep.
Awesome. That sounds very good. I'm also very active on LinkedIn. That's a good platform to reach out to people.
It is definitely.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for sharing with me. I learned a lot of new things today, things that I need to check out.
And happy to give you a demo or a trial account, Petru. So if you would like to know more, no worries. Just ping me, Lou, or myself. We will jump on a call and talk you through.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll see where can I fit that into my schedule, and I'd like to have a look and see live how the things are working.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you for today. Good luck with the podcast. Hopefully we will meet soon again.
Thank you very much. Yes, we stay in touch.
Thank you. Stay in touch. See you, Shireen.
Nice to see you. Bye.
Yes, likewise.